What about literacy? It is certain that the rates of casual literacy varied greatly between different parts of the empire. For example, in the region called Pompeii, which was buried in a volcanic eruption in 79 CE, there is a strong evidence of widespread casual literacy. Walls on the main streets of Pompeii often carried the advertisements, and graffiti were found all over the city. By contrast, in Egypt, where hundreds of papyri survive, most formal documents, such as contracts, were usually written by professional scribes, and they often tell us that X or Y is unable to read and write. But even here, literacy was certainly more widespread among certain categories such as soldiers, army officers, and estate managers. So, what about the literacy in the Roman Empire? There is a varied levels in different regions. There are different literacy levels. As we have seen in Pompeii, there are good literacy levels, but which got buried in the volcanic eruptions in the 79 CE. When you see in the contrast in the Egypt region, where it is a place the formal documents are written, the contracts were written by professional scribes, but there also we listen that X and Y, some people are unable to read or write. But even here, literacy was certainly widespread to few sections of the population or few categories of the population like soldiers, army officials, and the estate managers. That's all we have for the literacy in the Roman Empire. The cultural diversity of the empire was reflected in many ways at many levels. In the vast diversity of religious cults and local deities, there is a lot of variation and lot of aspects regarding the religious cults and the local deities. Then the second aspect is the plurality of the languages. Third, the styles of dressing and costume. So costumes, variation, food, what they ate, the way they dress, their forms of social organizations, even their patterns of settlement. So mainly we can observe the diverse nature in the Roman Empire regarding their religious cults, the local deities, different languages which are spoken, different ways of dressing styles, costumes, and the food, what they had or what they ate, the different organizations they formed, like tribal and the non-tribal, and even in the way they settled at different places reflects the cultural diversity of the empire. Aramaic was a dominant language group of the near eastern part near Euphrates region, and Coptic was a language that was spoken in Egypt, Punic and Berber in North Africa, Celtic in Spain and in the northwestern region of the empire. So these are the different languages that are spoken that, but many of these linguistic cultures were purely oral. Most of the languages had oral culture there, and at least until a script was invented for them. Armenian, for example, only began to be written as late as 5th century. So Armenia does not have a script form till the 5th century, whereas there was already a Coptic translation of the Bible, the holy book of Christians, by the middle of 3rd century. So Coptic translation means it is clear that Coptic script is available by 3rd century. Elsewhere, the spread of Latin displaced the writing form of languages that were otherwise widely spread. So Latin dominated from the later period. This happened notably with Celtic, which ceased to be written after the 1st century. So how the different languages, the diverse culture was reflected, we learned it is reflected in the religious cults, the way they dress, the styles, the food they ate, the languages they spoke, the organizations they formed, shows us how diverse the culture is in the Roman Empire.